Okay, we are live. This is Jerry hanging out. We got Jen doing some computer stuff. I just okayed my dog by mistake. Alfie's over there hanging out. What's up, everybody that's joining? We got these guys kind of hanging. What we're gonna do is we're gonna step the game up with this guy, and we're going to do a little bit of eye contact, which Andrew has done with him before, and then we're gonna introduce that into down. Now, this is the thing, as we progress with the foundation communication stuff, with the markers and everything, we take what he knows with that and we begin to apply it to something different. So even though we're teaching him something different, the way that we're doing it with him is the same. So that's the trick. Even with something different, we're doing it in a way where it's the same, right? So while all of this is going on, we're gonna up the challenge in other ways, because we have one dog here, we have two dogs there, we have one dog here, one dog here, one dog here, Lola here, and then we're gonna work for this guy. So this is the same guy that we worked last night. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch his Periscope, I think it's still replayable on Periscope. Otherwise, you can go to catch.me, K-A-T-C-H, and through there, you'll be able to see that transformation in the early stages. So we have a little bit of kibble for him before we give him the rest of his food. I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up here, and we'll get going here. All right, so all right, so let's show you all the guys real quick. We got these guys, this guy, Nino, Diz, Lola, Jerry, Jen, Alfie. Yeah, so this is the thing. In this room, we practice it all. There's times where it's excitement playtime, and then there's times where it's like, cool it down, time to hang and chill time, right? So, because he knows the place command, what I'm going to do is when we teach eye contact, I'm gonna get him on here. I might not say place, but I want him to stay stationary, and I want him to see something different that I'm adding. I want you to understand eye contact. Once you give it to me, I'm gonna YES you to release to take the food. The moment you give it to me, I'm gonna YES you. So YES, if you're not familiar with our markers and you guys are watching this for the first time, YES is our terminal command. That's when the dog releases and breaks. Good is our keep doing what you're doing. I like it, your job's not done. It's very important that you understand with eye contact, you are not feeding on good. With other things, when it's new, you can feed on good. The reason you're not feeding on good with eye contact is because if I say good and I bring you food, unless I'm really not at that level of expertise, I've never encountered a dog that will hold eye contact with you while taking the food that you're giving to them. They're gonna break the command, and good means keep doing what you're doing, right? So by the time that you jump to good, it should be what we call a conditioned response, meaning the dog already knows what it means and is already expecting to hold it until they get their YES. We might use that a little before the yes, we might not, I don't know, but in the beginning it's just do it, completion, do it, completion. And that's the yes. I might layer in a good and then a YES if the dog is still holding with me, and eventually I add that duration, right? So that's kind of where we are. I'm gonna get him on a slightly longer leash. And you can see he's really okay at this point with me hovering over him and stuff, which was not necessarily the case when we first started working with him. So he's starting to get more comfortable in a lot of ways. This is also great training for everybody else. I'm working with him, you guys just hang tight, right? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place him. New smells on a different placemat. I'm gonna take some of his kibble and I'm gonna put it in here. I need the heart police. Make sure that everybody is hearting throughout. If you see the heart is slowing down, somebody has to type it up. Otherwise, the session ends on its own. No, I'm just kidding, but I might end it. All right, so my energy has to let him know he's doing a good thing. He's a nervous guy, right? So if I jump into him and do something, he won't accept food. I do have to encourage him a little bit. So I'm gonna start with something that he kind of knows. I'm gonna pick up the leash. Leash doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna bring him on off. Let's go, buddy. Good job. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell him, place. Oh, so good. Yes. Good job. So good. And at this point, with this dog, talking to him really helps him to kind of let him know. There's some dogs that I would say, listen, you gotta stop talking to your dog because of what it represents. But for him, I want to bring out a little bit of this motivation, kind of more confidence in such a nervous guy, right? So, yeah. What's that? Oh, really? That's what he said. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna bring him here. I'm gonna allow him to smell it. I'm gonna bring it out wide. Yes, good boy, so good. So good. A little bit of that tail wag. I hope you guys see that. We're gonna go ahead. At this point, I think I can probably successfully lure him on. I'm not gonna tell him place or anything. Come on, bud. With a little bit of his food, turn him in. Hey, come here. Yes, good boy. And something that I do is I will have food in both hands. I'm not one that is going to, I'm not the person that goes, look at me and holds it here. The dog is looking for the food. I want them to look at me in order to get the food, right? So I might engage with them. Hey. So give him a little bit of a poke there. Sit. Let him smell. Good. Yes. And my timing was a little bit off because he looked away when I yesed him. As long as I'm aware of that, it's not the end of the world. I just have to make sure that my timing's a little bit better because he looked away right as I yesed. Get him on. He should turn this way. It's like I have a leash. I gotta get him a little bit more focused. I'm gonna try to get him up. Come here. Come on. Up. Good. Yes. And when he looks at this hand, then looks at me, I'm gonna reward with this hand. If he looks at this hand that looks at me, I'm gonna reward with this hand. I want him looking at me, not thinking, I want him to focus on me, not focus on the hands. Focusing on me is what gives you success, rewards, and answers in life. I'm the one that helps you through this crazy world. So we introduce that through food, then we apply this to other situations. This is why foundation work is so important. So important. See if I can turn it this way, beautiful. So whether I'm doing this with food or whether I'm doing this because I have a leash, yes. It's the same concept. If I had a leash and I was bringing you around, or I had food and I'm bringing you around, I want you to turn in that direction, right? So I might bring him over this way. I might bring him on here, turn. Yeah, oh, nope. So this is the thing, he might not get fed this way. Later on, I kind of don't mind, but right now I really want him focusing on me, because this is going to help to shape the here command that I want. Nope. You can see it's hard for him to focus. This is why, that hurt. Yes. Good job. And I want him eating in here. I want him right in this area because eventually I'm going to get this. I'm going to get an SIT and I'm going to get eye contact. Yes. Which is the finishing part of a here command. On our here, we have a dog come in, sit, give us eye contact, right? So that's important. I'm shaping that down even though I'm not teaching that, right? And this is just another way to feed, right? So you guys get the concept of that. I'm gonna try to mix it up with him. Hopefully he's okay with this. If not, I'll go back to this, but I'm gonna move this out of the way. Come here, buddy. Come on. Hey, come here, good. So that's something that I might not advise for somebody that doesn't know timing and body language. I can do that and pull away to get a reaction, and then, yeah, that's what I want. If you don't know how to do that, you can easily get bit, so be careful with that. But for me, it's very important that if I'm getting your attention, or I'm trying to, that you don't ignore me. So you might want to pick up a leash. That's the benefit of the long line, right? So that's important for people to know. So I might bring him over here. Now this is really important, and I'm going to explain this for you guys before I do it. When I'm holding food here. My thumb is kind of over it. This allows me to maneuver and manipulate my hands, bring it here, and really get the dog to follow. Another thing is when I'm teaching down, I'm not downing the dog this way, because if you get into a situation where the dog, will kind of reach for it. The dog will kind of reach for it, but hey, good job. There we go. I like that. I need him respectfully away. I'm asking you to do something. Don't keep inching in. A lot of people ignore stuff like that. That's a big deal. What was I talking about? So I'm not going to hold food this way, because if a dog can reach for it and do it and not necessarily learn how to down, I'm going to turn my hand around. Food is going to be here. This is the dog's head. He's going to learn, because the food is down, how to try to get under it. And as I bring it lower, might pair with a little bit of leash pressure, his body is going to be forced to kind of go down to get it, because his nose has to come under it, right? When that happens and I see elbows hit the ground and back legs hit the ground, I turn over and I YES. Now on my YES, he has to be released from the command. That's very, very, very important, right? If I want it, I could release good and bring it to him. But because I want to start getting flashiness and more confidence out of a dog, I want speed, I'm going to do more yeses in the beginning. If a dog was super, super hyper, I would have the dog do that. Good. I would feed, right? My energy, everything would kind of change. So let's see if he kind of knows this down. I know he knows it. He just doesn't know it confidently. And because he's so nervous and he was fear aggressive, this is a position where in like early stages you could see some like nastiness, because he doesn't like to take direction, because he's not used to understanding the benefits of it, right? So we'll see how that goes. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna grab this. Make sure I'm at a good angle where you guys can see this. Right when we get here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be here. I'm going to hold this here. Yes. And that's fairly easy. Mostly because of how confident he is in working for food, and he's kind of already getting that concept. This is something that would have went really, really bad if I tried to do it on day one. It doesn't make sense. We had a dog that wasn't accepting food. We had a dog that wanted to lunge at me, didn't understand the concept of working for food, and down is a trickier command. So save the tricky stuff for once you've built the reputation, the relevance, and the foundation work. So I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say the command until I know I can get it and I'm really starting to see consistency. Then I will name it, and I will name it first before I do what I've already been doing to get the down. So he's already doing down, I just haven't taught him the word for it. The word could be anything. I can teach down to be stand if I wanted to, right? So right here, again, a little bit of leash pressure, yes. And his elbows didn't necessarily touch the floor, but that's okay. I'm gonna bring him back over, get him here. Now I purposely, I can probably do this without leash pressure. Yes, but I still wanna use it because leash pressure is gonna be able to help me in other more serious situations down the road, so I have to make sure that he knows that, right? I'm gonna bring him back around this way. And if I have to go wide, I'll kind of go wide. Nobody aboard? Oh, really? Yeah. Now I'll maybe name it. Let me get a little closer to you guys. Down. Yes. And you can tell he sort of knew it a little bit. It's just we didn't have a dog. Like I wouldn't name it before if I didn't like he's figured it out now. So now saying the word has helped me because he knew it a little bit before. If I would have tried before, I would have felt victim of like being a repeater. And no, down, 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 no, stay, stay, stay. Hey, no, sit, sit. I don't do that. I make sure I can get the behavior, so when I say it, I can follow through, get it. Say it, follow through, get it. Say it, follow through, get it. Then eventually I say it, and I have intentions to follow through and get it, and the dog goes, no, 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 I don't need the rest of the information. I know what that means, because they're creatures of pattern, right? So let's get into a little bit of rhythm, less talking on my end. Down. Yes. And now you can see a super nervous dog. This is the second session that you guys have watched. You're starting to see the transition and the transformation live, right? Down. Yes. We might get fancy with him, and I might. Down. Yes. Good job, buddy. I might do some more duration stuff. So now I might go ahead and I might. Down. Good. And then I'll feed. And this is the same concept as place. I might do this. Good. Bring food to him. If I say good and I'm bringing it to him and his body gets up, I will note him, make him go back in the down, or hopefully he chooses to do that on his own, and then I'll give him the reward for that, right? Yes. Down. Yes. Now, if he was struggling over time, there's some more advanced stuff that you can sort of do. And some of that more advanced stuff is starting to fade out the need for you doing this, starting to fade out the need for leash pressure, even though I use it because it's going to help me in other areas. You want to get to a point where the dog actually knows the command. So one of the ways that you can do that, yes, one of the ways that you can do that is because I've taught it with leash pressure. I can use leash pressure to help me while my body stays standing up. And I don't have to be the person that is always doing this, right? So the next step, and we're doing a little bit of a crash course for you guys, is because he knows leash pressure, it's not about slamming the dog into a DOWN, but it's about helping them to understand, yes, good job, that I can communicate to you even if I'm not talking to you. So if I'm getting this relatively smooth, I'll layer the down into it. Or at this point, I can already say it because I know that he knows it, right? So now what I'll do is I'll be pretty stagnant. Down. Yes. Good job. And I was a little off balance there. One of the reasons why I was so off balance is because I had the pressure so high, right? So I'm going to show you this again really quickly. What makes more sense is if you have the leash a little bit lower, so that when I say down, good boy, I can go ahead and I can bring food to him. Good. And then we're almost done here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to YES him right now. Yes! Oh, that was a little pizzazz. I saw that, buddy. I saw that, bud. And now I'm going to bring him right back over to place. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it. Down. And now because he knows down, nope. Now because he knows, let me do it in front of you guys so you can see it. I can ask him for it on an area that is a pressure-free zone. Because if I'm going to ask him for something, it's not a challenge, it's something you know how to do. Place. Very good. Down. Good. Calm him down. Now he's going to chill. So I've been able to allow him to stay on there because he knows good, he knows the markers, he knows the down, and he's like, oh, I can do this on here and I can just chill until you YES me. And it's like, yeah, dude. He's like, cool. I get to hang out on a hammock. Where's my margarita? Where's my Corona? Easy peasy. But prior to foundation stuff, you can probably do it. I know I could, but you pressure the dogs more. You stress dogs. You run the risk of stressing dogs out more, getting them anxious and stuff. So now he's doing this, and he's the dog-aggressive dog too, around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 7 other dogs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. that is that. Let me take this off. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer them. This is what we do, right? So like we just had, and hopefully the person's watching this Periscope, we just had somebody like send in an inquiry talking about their dog struggles with like socialization. And we were suggesting our group class. We don't have before, I don't know, the owner is here. If the dog is challenged with eye contact, great. This is how you eat. You got to figure it out, and you can help. You engage them. You make maybe like a little. You don't spread it out so wide. You know what I mean? You might be here, like, and then when you pull away a little bit, you maybe don't overdo it, but a little noise or something. Like, don't overdo that. So then when they look, boom, you yes him right away. So here's the thing. Hey, Lola Tora, do you have any video of him being aggressive and stuff like that? I know that we recorded some of it. We have it on his drop-off date, but we haven't done anything with that. That's probably going to be on the YouTube video for later once he's fully transformed. But let's see, what was I getting into? Yeah, if you do send that stuff, really, if you have that, send it, because it will make the video better. Because we already know what it is, but it's one thing when you see a dog behaving really good and you go, yeah, well, that dog probably wasn't that bad. It's another thing where you show what the dog was like and then you see what they're like at the end, and it's like, how the hell did this guy do that? For those of you guys that watch the Periscopes, you know how, right? So that's pretty much it, but I forgot what I was talking about before. Oh, so anyway, so this person sends the email and it's like, listen, my dog is not social with other dogs. What do I, like, you know, what do we do? And we're like, so the best bang for your buck is going to be our group training course, because it's the most cost effective or cost efficient, and you learn the foundation stuff needed, which is the stuff that you're seeing here, that allows you to be relevant and be in a situation where you can interrupt, you can promote, you can allow, you can advocate, and your dog understands it. So by the time you get to the point where we are ready to socialize, we're in a position where socialization is going to be beneficial rather than counterproductive. Right? And the person was like, well, I've done multiple, foundation work and this and that, and, we just need socialization. And it's like, listen, the stuff that we're covering is the socialization. It's the wax on, wax off. I assure you that our foundation work is different from what you know. And the person got a little bit defensive. It was like, no, I don't appreciate you thinking that I don't give it like my all, or something like that. I don't know. I mean, hopefully they're watching, and that's not how it was intended or what it was meant for. But it's just if you want our help, we're showing you how to get to that point. It doesn't start with you jumping into socialization. You're not going to benefit. You run the risk of it really, really going south, right? If I want to train to beat Muhammad Ali in boxing, it doesn't start by throwing me in the ring with Muhammad Ali. I have to train. I have to get ready for it. So that's what we're doing with these dogs, right? That's why the foundation work that we teach is so important. So the email basically said, listen, and I wrote it, right? I have, I guess, a little bit of a luxury. Like, Jen has to sort of be formal and nice, but if it gets to the point that I'm like responding to it, it's like, I don't want to be mean, but I have the luxury of being a little bit more blunt and straightforward, because I know it works. And it's like, listen, if you want to work with us, this is what it's going to be. I'm not going to be like another trainer and sell you into the dream for what's convenient for you. What's convenient for you is what you're hiring me for. And I know how to help you. Let me do my job. You know what I mean? You hiring me and paying me double for my work, or triple or whatever, it doesn't matter how much you pay me if you're trying to speed up a route for something that you've been unsuccessful doing. I'm successful doing this every day. I know what it takes to get there, right? So we really want our clients to trust us, be familiar with us, knowing, yeah, it's basic commands. It's not necessarily obedience. It's just stuff that puts the handler in a position where the dog is already expecting to look for them for advice and stuff like that, right? Yeah, that's hard. You're very, very right, but it's hard because of an emotional attachment. We tend to want to rush things, right? So it's really like, before I buy you this vehicle and I throw you in and I say, learn how to drive it, or, let me teach you the concepts of driving manual and driving stick, then I'll put you in the car behind the wheel. You know what I mean? So down. This guy's a little antsy on holding place. He doesn't really know how to do it so well. So he's gotten up. He's gotten a little goofy, but we're just working with him. So that stuff's important. And basically what I said, I was like, if you think that you don't want to do 5 weeks of this is what you're going to learn, you're going to get this good, then you're going to take this concept, you're going to apply it to this, and it's 1 class a week. So until you get to the point where now we're in a position to really work on stuff, which it does include socialization at the end of group class and all that stuff, but we have to get to a certain point first. So it's like if you think that's a little bit too slow, we can kind of speed it up with like one-on-one work, like a SFS program or a board and train. But just, I want you to know that everything that we're going to do in that starts with the foundation work anyway. So I never want to BS a client. I want to let them know it's like, look, you know, we can speed this process up, but we're still going to be doing all this stuff. We're still going to be learning all this stuff, right? How long should a dog hold place when chilling? Well, it's almost like asking how long should you hang out on the couch while watching Netflix until the show is over. Like, you know what I mean? So teach them how to hang out. Like, how long do you expect children to be respectful for while they're over their guest house? Probably the entirety of while they're at their guest house. You know what I mean? So it's just having it be a habit rather than something you just work on here. It's not like an hour of training. It's the other 23 hours in a day. What are you doing in that, right? If I work out for an hour at the gym, and then I go right after that, I'm drinking, I'm boozing, I'm hitting up the drugs, I'm eating cheese doodles, ho-hos, Mountain Dew, all that good stuff. The hour at the gym really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know what I mean? So it's almost like the other 23 hours of the day that matter more than the 1 hour, if that makes sense. I know that's a little weird. So training has to be a lifestyle. You have to train when... Well, it depends on the whining. If she's whining because she normally gets attention and you're the type of person like, what's the matter? What? You're hungry? Do you got to go out? And you acknowledge that. The dog goes, holy shit, when I whine, this person acknowledges me. You know what I mean? So that's probably exactly what happens, right? They laughed. So all that stuff, it's like, if the dog's not used to it, show the dog what to do and interrupt in a way that's nicer and show them what to do, show them what to do. No, you probably don't want to ignore unless it's building. Ignore if you think it's a little bit of whining and they settle, then ignore it. Is foundation work just obedience? Sort of like yes and no, but it's obedience that's done in a way where it's putting us in a position to take things to real world stuff, right? So that's, yeah, it's like basically dog tricks and dog obedience is what you're teaching them, and then you're taking that stuff and you're turning it into real world compliance, right? So here's the thing, I've said this before. Dog tricks is usually how we start dogs working for their food. Do this and you get this, do this and you get this, and it's fun. We teach it to be exciting. Dog tricks become something that a dog wants to do, right? So who's on here? Somebody type me. The first person to type me, I'll use you as an example. Takes you guys that long to... Okay, me. Alyssa Cohen. I say, Alyssa, go make yourself a bowl of ice cream. You're not going to be the type of person, or basically you want to hang out with your friends, and I'm on it. Yeah, exactly. You want to hang out with your friends, and I go, hey, you want to hang out with your friends? Go make yourself a bowl of ice cream, then you can do it. Like, I don't know many kids that are going to be like, oh man, I got to make the ice cream first? Really? They're going to be like, okay, cool. Make the ice cream. Can I go hang out? Yeah, absolutely. So it's something that a dog wants to do. But now you say you want to hang out with your friends, and I go, Miss Cohen, do the dishes, clean the garage. Make sure you do that first. Then you can go hang out. I don't know many kids who are going to be overly excited to go, I get to clean out the garage? Yes! Before, and like they're going to do it. Like, that's not how it works. So don't get me wrong, obedience, when taught right, can be something that a dog wants to do. But at some point, obedience is going to be something that a dog does not want to do, but is beneficial. Nope! So Jerry just broke off. He was just asking. So the nope was firm. And I just, right now I'm in the stages where I'm showing him what to do. So I don't have to like really correct like harshly or firmly or anything because you're still learning. I do have to follow through and get what I want and have that nope represent. I say that, then I follow through with what I want. But I still have to be fair at the same time. So this is the thing. Dog tricks is something a dog wants to do, right? Obedience can be something that a dog wants to do and should be something that a dog prefers, but at some point, obedience has to be, listen, you have to do this whether you want to or not. And it's not because I'm a dictator. It's not because I'm a jerk. It's because I know what's best for you and I know this is going to help you. The same way our parents made us hold hands before we crossed the street, even though we didn't want to, we wanted to run to the park. The same way that my mom asked me, hey, you get to choose what you want to eat for breakfast today. And I go, ketchup and milk. I hate to break it to you guys, my mother didn't give me ketchup and milk, right? Because she knew what was best for me and that wasn't it, right? So that's really, really important. With treats and not obedience with food. Well, we just use food in general. And the thing is, down the road, there's treats of life, right? I mean, one of the examples that I give is like, when you follow directions in everyday life, there are benefits that are not you getting $5. There are benefits that are not you getting $100 or getting ice cream or getting a lollipop, you know. Sometimes it's benefits of avoiding a consequence and also knowing that you're going to get there safely, right? So for example, if I stop at a red light, when I stop when the light is red and then I go when the light is green, I'm not going to get rewarded for that outside of knowing that I'm not going to get pulled over to get a ticket. And I'm also probably not going to get into an accident and I'm going to get to where I need to be safely, right? If I don't do those things, I run a greater risk. So that's a reward in itself. But when you're teaching that in the early stages, you want to reward a little bit more. But at the same time, you don't have police officers. And I've said this before, like when was the last time that you got stopped and rewarded for doing a good job? Like when did you get pulled over and the officer is like, hey, how are you, Miss Cohen? Listen, I want to let you know that I appreciate that you stopped when the light was red. And I really appreciated that you decided to go when it was green. Be on your merry way. Like, you'd probably be upset that you got, like, why the hell did you stop me for? Like, you know what I mean? So you're not getting rewarded by the police there. You're just getting police in other situations. So really, you have a cop that's just gonna, well, maybe if he's goofing around, but he's not regularly, like, stopping you. You know what I mean? So yeah, it doesn't always merit a reward. Sometimes it's the reward of life. You want to learn how to be included so I don't have to put you away. You want to learn how to be included so I don't have to contemplate giving you up. You want to learn how to be included where you're not lunging at people and I don't have to, like, you know, put you down or something because of your behavior. Then this is how you act, and then check it out. These are the benefits. You're not stressed anymore. You're not anxious anymore. You're not graying 100% gray around your face at the age of 3 years old because you're stressed out. You know what I mean? And I see it all the time. Hey, what's up from Brazil? Awesome. How are you? And that's pretty much it. So that's what we have going on right now. These guys are hanging out. I got to give Jerry the rest of his food. He's chilling. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of show you guys that and a little bit of a Q&A. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. And I see the hearts are flowing. I absolutely love it. I'll see you guys in the next scope. Later.